Ketchikan, Alaska is a cruise port that can satisfy both silly or sublime tastes. In this video, we go over the usual port basics and our recommendations from several trips here, plus some really cool surprises. I'm Troy, and this is the Port Lowdown. Ketchikan is the southernmost city in Alaska, towards the tip of the southeast panhandle. Like Juneau, it's isolated and requires planes or boats to get there. It has three claims to fame: the salmon run, totem poles, and rain. Lots and lots of it, about 13 feet per year. All that rain equals a lush environment to enjoy. Tongass National Forest, the nation's largest, includes most of the area, where Misty Fjords National Monument, hiking, bear watching, and other nature pursuits abound. The area also boasts two great totem pole parks to absorb native culture, Totem Bight and Saxman, as well as museums. Fishing is also a tour option, especially the super popular Bering Sea Crab Tour on the ship made famous by the deadliest catch. Book way early for this one. Plus, some goofy fun at the famous Lumberjack Show. Truly something for everybody. The docks are lined up at the foot of town, numbered berths 1 through 4 from south to north. Berths 1 through 2 face the main drag of Front Street. This is the most touristy and commercial area, where Diamonds International and big souvenir malls have their stomping grounds. As well as bars and cafes, of course. Almost everyone, regardless of berth, tends to collect here, so it makes for quite a busy area, especially when berth 1 is reboarding passengers. The Lumberjack Show is only a few minutes walk from here. Lumber teams USA and Canada square off in a series of axe-wielding, log climbing, and rolling events. This takes about an hour or so, and booking ahead is almost mandatory. Pricing is almost even between the cruise line and the company direct, so your call. Also at berths 1 through 2 is a tourist information office with pamphlets, water bottle refills, clean and ample bathrooms, and a standalone ATM. Frankly, since we're not fans of standalones, we try the local bank ATM a few blocks away at First Bank to avoid high fees. For pharmacy needs, there's the Rain City Drugstore. For sundry items, there's a fair number. One of the biggest is Tongass Trading, which is like a super mega store right at the dock. Big, 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 with travel accessories and luggage as well as snacks. It's seriously comprehensive. Now continuing north are berths 3 through 4 with similar services. Tourist info and restrooms. More shops. Also, this area is where any tenders will dock from ships anchored offshore. The tender dock is nested inside a pretty busy harbor area, which slows services somewhat. Climb up this very steep dock. Probably the steepest I've ever seen. And if you're tendering, bear in mind wait times to get back. So this is the line to get back to the shuttle. No way. Ain't happening right now. This recently built boardwalk links 3 and 4. Berth 4 has some stores too, but it's the smallest overall, with a simple pickup area and outside restrooms. The one advantage here, from my viewpoint anyway, is that it faces a less touristy part of Water Street, where there's a more relaxed and funky vibe. My son and I spent a decent amount of time exploring the steep steps of the surrounding neighborhood and checking out the storefronts. Wandering the streets and checking out the local flavor is one of our favorite things to do. And these calendars seem to be a tradition here, although we're not quite sure who in the family to buy them for. No walk here is complete without a stop at Jellyfish Donuts for their famous salmon donuts, dumplings, and other offerings. Also facing 4 is a steep street, Schoenbar Road, which makes for a challenging and fun mini hike with some cool views on the way up. By the way, if you enjoy self-exploring like this on your cruise trips, be sure to like and consider subscribing. We're busy adding more port reports, ship tours, and tips to help you plan your next travel adventure. Now let's talk transport for a moment. If you're staying in town, walking is best and the most rewarding, but there is a free city shuttle that runs a 20-minute loop while cruise ships are in, covering most of downtown and nearby museums. Look for the free shuttle sign on the local buses. If you're going to the totem parks at Totem Bight or Saxman, they're a fair distance out of town and require wheels. Although there are taxis with set rates available, the more budget option is local bus, which meets just outside the ports. The free shuttle does not go there. There are no car rentals within walking distance, so all the other options for more distant places will be tour-based. Ride shares are minimal, with limited services. Now, a general rule I go by is to see the furthest attraction first. In case of delays, at least I'm working my way back to the ship. With that in mind, I made for Totem Bight State Historical Park as soon as I got on shore. To get there, I took the local bus, which met right in front of this coffee house. Look for the Silver Line North. The sign will also read Totem Bight. You can use their app for payment, as there's no credit card tap machines on the somewhat older buses. But it's $2 cash exact, which was easy enough to have in my pocket. The bus was comfortable enough, not fancy. It's a local commuter bus, so expect frequent stops along the neighborhoods, which is kind of cool to check out. The ride coming and returning is more or less 25 to 30 minutes. The bus stop is right at the park entrance. Now make note of the schedules here. The times to leave back to town are circled in red. There's a bus every hour. You'll use these handy machines to pay the $5 entrance fee, which is in effect May 1st to September 30th. Off-season between October 1st and April 30th is free. These machines only take credit cards. Basic and serviceable restrooms are right in the parking area. You enter the park through this amazing wooded area, which opens up to a field and clan house. 14 totem poles are on display here, beautifully preserved and maintained. Lots of signage provides context, or you can use a guided tour. I've done both, and they each have their merits. On a tour, you get your information in a more personalized manner, but you're on a tour schedule. While alone, you're free to wander. I prefer to meander on my own, particularly since I could hike to the shoreline, which was quiet and magnificent. The whole place has a magic to it. Definitely a must-see. Exploring the park on my own, with side hikes, took about an hour and a half. Back in town, we made a terrific discovery just down the street from Berth 1, the Southeast Alaska Discovery Center, run by the U.S. Forest Service. There's not a ton of info on this place online, and looking at it from the outside, it's easy to dismiss it as another touristy storefront. Don't be fooled. For a mere $5 entry fee, this place is a true hidden gem, with tons of beautiful and informative displays on Ketchikan's natural and cultural history. We were quite boiled over. There's a lot here. Informative films constantly playing in a big theater, interactive displays that are engaging for adults and kids. One of the best museum stores we've been to in Alaska, and that's saying a lot.
It's native product and it's native home.
Not to mention water filling stations, great restrooms, and places to sit. But the highlight was getting to meet this gentleman, Dave Rubin, a local artist responsible for the rock sculpture that features prominently at the dock and is a wellspring of stories and local knowledge.
This is my friend Tabitha Brown, who herself is a really great artist. But I met her as a Cape Fox dancer here last summer, and they would come and dance for the Disney cruise.
Really?
Yeah, we would close on Saturday afternoons.
My goodness.
And parents had taken their children on a Disney cruise would come in here, and the dancers would come and dance. And I asked her if she would pose for me, and she was very happy to.
We think this place deserves more love, so we're going to stick our neck out and wholeheartedly recommend it. But there's more. 2 more informative and beautiful museums are here, and you get them for one low price. The Tongass Historical Museum and the Totem Heritage Center are part of Ketchikan Museums. For one price of $9, you can visit both. Plus, the free shuttle passes by both locations. The Totem Heritage Center is a slightly longer walk uphill from town, so the bus is pretty useful. This place is small, but beautifully presented, focusing on the pole making process, historical background, and restoration. The Tongass Historical Museum is also small and beautiful, presenting context to the grand forest in your midst with a slant on personal stories and sometimes quirks of locals. Just outside, follow the signs to another famous site in town, the Salmon Walk. This route follows salmon as they race up creek to spawn. The walk is actually longer than what most folks see, about 1.5 miles, but the most popular vantage is Salmon Ladder Vista along Park Avenue, uphill from the town center. Here, tourists gather to catch a glimpse of leaping salmon as they struggle past the rapids. It's tricky business seeing them sometimes, but patience often gets rewarded. Plus, lots of signage to explain and educate, of course. The area also offers some small hiking opportunities up side steps that lead to some unusual views above local streets. Otherwise, the walk down creek connects the city's other famous tourist draw, Creek Street. This was once the area's seedy and dangerous red light district. You can still get a sense of that at Dolly's house, a place of ill repute that's now a small museum. See our link in the description for a deeper dive into the history if you're interested. Now, it's an attractive and polished shopping street. Touristy for sure, but a required selfie at the entrance. Nothing quite says, "I've been to Ketchikan" like a shot here. But there are some local businesses here with stories to tell, if you ask. Good for about an hour of browsing and shopping. Longer if the rains suddenly pin you down. In Ketchikan, you can learn a ton of things about nature and local culture, or simply have a grand time walking the streets and cheering for your favorite sawing team. It's all here and it's all good. Can't wait to come back again. Another Alaska port with lots of rich activities to choose from was Skagway. Check out that video here. And keep those comments and suggestions coming. We look forward to hearing from you and answering any questions you might have. Happy travels!